Depot, SEC on CBS brings us to Gainesville, Florida. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, a matchup of East and West in the SEC. The number 22 Florida Gators against the 5th-ranked Tigers of LSU. Off to a 5-0 start. The Gators at 4-1. Brad Nessler along with Gary Danielson, Jamie Erdahl will join us shortly. Partner LSU, number 5 in the country. 5 straight wins. If they haven't surprised the country, they surprised me. I'm going to be honest with you. Florida at 4-1. That loss to Kentucky a month ago doesn't look that bad now. But you head into October, and the would-be's and could-be's become the will-be's.
Well, there might be a lot of B's there, but there's a couple of A teams in this league, too. I think Alabama and Georgia have separated themselves. LSU today could join that group of A teams. The rest of the league is pretty much what we thought. If you play good football, you can win. So many good players at home, a lot of teams can win in these games.
Second year in a row by a strange quirk of scheduling due to the hurricane a few years ago. That's back-to-back games that they've been here. And last year when we did the game, I remember you and I talking about the quarterbacks and going, if they don't lose the game, they got a good chance. Maybe different this year, right?
I think so, because Joe Burrow at LSU is one of those guys that has emerged. You thought your surprise of the team has been better than you thought. It's because of Joe Burrow. He is the emotional leader. He's the toughness of this football team. He comes from Ohio State, and he even handled Jamie Erdahl. Here's her question, and if you can do that, you're tough. On the other side, Felipe Franks. I thought he was managed a year ago. Now, Dan Mullen is letting him do more and more and more. And I think today, for him to win this football game, he's going to have to turn him loose. He's going to have to get a lot more from his quarterback.
He looks a lot more confident, even in practice. And speaking of confidence, the two coaches have really instilled that in their teams right now.
You know, Brad, they come from the opposite side of the ball in their experience. One's an offensive guy, Dan Mullen. The other guy, a defensive mind, and Coach O. But they both echoed the same theme in this game. When they talked to us, they both said toughness will determine this game. This is my 9th game that I've done this. Every game has typified that. The tougher team has won the game.
Moments ago, the undefeated Tigers of LSU, who've won the last 2 here in Gainesville. And the Florida Gators coming out on a winning streak now. Back-to-back SEC road wins for the first time in 6 years after their win last week. Before we kick, we check in third member of our team, Jamie Erdahl. Jamie.
Brad, Florida equipment manager Jeff McGrew could add crisis management to the resume after the week he has had. Florida's equipment truck on their way back from Mississippi State last week caught fire on the side of the highway, completely engulfed in flames. Now the driver's okay, but they had to wait for all of the equipment on board, which was damaged by flame and smoke, to cool down before they could transfer to another truck and get the equipment back to campus Monday morning to really understand the damage that was done to their helmets and shoulder pads. Now they had enough shoulder pads in their inventory to outfit everyone for practice, but game helmets didn't arrive until Friday morning. They had to quickly put decals on them, but players are wearing these game helmets and shoulder pads for the first time today. Gary, you more than anyone else understand how distracting that can be if something doesn't fit you the right way.
Yeah, Jamie, you're right. The only thing I took from the 27 teams I played for is my shoulder pads every time. I made sure I got my shoulder pads. I wanted them and played with the same pair my whole career.
Florida leads the all-time series. They're usually ranked, and each of the last 4, as I mentioned, has been decided by a touchdown or less. Dan Mullen in his first year here after a very successful 9 years at Mississippi State, former offensive coordinator here. And Ed Orgeron in his 3rd year, and he has quieted the critics big time in the first month and a half of the season. Florida won the toss, deferred. As you saw, LSU's return men drop back to the goal line. We'll see Evan McPherson, a freshman kicker, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Nick Brossette are back deep. And LSU will start at the 25-yard line. The Chick-fil-A starting lineup. And it all starts with number 9. Gary already talked about him. coming off an unbelievable game against Ole Miss last week. There's his numbers. Hasn't been intercepted. That's key. The rest of the offensive line, they've shuffled their offensive line virtually every game. This is what they're going to have at least out there to start today. Nick Brossette has 6 rushing touchdowns and close to 500 yards on the ground to lead the ground attack. And usually the team that wins the ground game in this game wins the ball game as well. Justin Jefferson was the motion man, and it's Burrow off play action on first down and going deep for Jefferson. Got him. One play and a big one to Justin Jefferson.
Well, he's become the go-to guy in this offense. He's had 3 games with 5 catches. And Justin Jefferson, who wasn't a big-time recruit, but great bloodlines, and they pick on the new corner. Remember, Marco Wilson, their starting corner at the beginning of the season, down with a knee injury against Kentucky, and they go right after the new player.
38-yard pickup, and immediately LSU in Gatorland at the 37. Quick handoff and a quick drop there. David Reese. Now it was Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, one of the captains of the defense, that made the stop. Part of the defense that looks like this. I guess I had David Reese on my mind. He's healthy. That was a big key. He didn't play against Kentucky, and that hurt him in that game. Quick snap by LSU, and it's out in the flat to Brossette down the sideline, and he's got a first down.
Well, I'll tell you got to hand this one to the offensive coordinator, Steve Emsinger, on this one. This formation fooled Florida. They got outflanked instantly. You get around the corner, that's just easy. Because one of the things coming into this game was, could LSU get outside the fast Florida defense?
Now the inside run and driving for 5 more to the 20 is Nick Brossette.
Just how much more confident does LSU look on offense? I mean, we've done so many games the last couple of years where they were managing, let's not make mistakes, let's be careful.
They're attacking it right now.
You got it.
Here's a stretch, and they cut back to the inside for Brossette, and he's got another first down. So in the red zone already. Last year we saw a lot of jet sweeps, a ton of them, and a lot of more motion.
Yeah,
like
that's
this.
Not a big package for them this year, but they got to find different ways to get outside this Florida defense.
That time Florida stiffened up as Donovan Steiner made the stop on Brossette. No gain.
That was a Matt Canada offense that caught this Florida defense on its heels with that package of shifts, overloads, tackle over, and got a couple big plays to sneak away with the win and a missed extra point.
That play 2 plays ago was not a first down.
No.
I have to correct myself, and the last carry was at the 15, 1st and 10. Edwards-Helaire, a little cut inside. Little jump cut got him about 4 yards down around the 11. Edwards-Helaire and Brossette sharing most of the load. Leonard Fournette has been getting a little more playing time the last couple of weeks as well. Derek Dillon, I think, brought in the play from the bench.
And this is the formation that LSU likes to lose inside the 20-yard line. They've had 35 snaps and 3 wide receivers.
Burrow getting some pressure. The fade to the corner. Overshot Jefferson. He went airborne but couldn't quite get to it.
You know, you got man-to-man out here. Pick your guy. You go with the fade on the play. Stutter and go. Could have been completed, but it would have taken a perfect pass. When you play man-to-man coverage, you're depending on that quarterback every once in a while missing that throw.
3 wideouts all to the right now. Jefferson in motion back the other way. On 3rd down and 6, they can get a first down around the 4-yard line. Burrow, the quick slant. They've got the first down inside the 4-yard line. 1st and goal. D. Anderson on the catch.
I'll tell you, this is the pass that Joe Burrow throws confidently. He puts it into the body of the receiver, and he allows the big receivers for LSU. D. Anderson goes 6'6" to just box out.
Brossette, easy touchdown LSU on their opening drive. His 7th of the year.
A perfect drive for LSU. started out with a big play and ended up with a power play. You got to figure this was scripted, but they also showed they could play physical if they had to. And you see Charles, number 77, getting the big block on that play and getting it into the end zone.
So Cole Tracy, who's perfect this year on extra points, 19 of 19.
Yeah, I'll tell you who was perfect also, Steve Emsinger, offensive coordinator for LSU. What a script to start with, huh?
No doubt. What a drive it was. 10 plays. It started with a bang. A 38-yarder, Joe Burrow to his favorite target, Justin Jefferson. That started things, got it in Gator territory. Then in the red zone, the slant got him first and goal. Nick Brosette says, I'll do the rest, fellas. His 7th rushing touchdown of the year. Tigers 7-0. LSU couldn't have looked any better on their opening drive. And Florida likewise will start at the 25. Here's the first snap, empty backfield for Felipe Franks. The Gators from their 25, and Felipe comes up firing and a slant and caught out at the 30. Pickup of 5 to Van Jefferson as we check Chick-fil-A's starting lineups for you. And it all starts with number 13 and a much more confident Felipe Franks. He already has 3 more touchdown passes as you look at his numbers than he had all of last year. And that first snap and catch got him a little over 5 yards. Second down and 5 on the ground. And this is Jordan Scarlett, and he's got a Gator first down. So 2 plays and 1 first down. The offense, the rest of the group that joins Felipe and Jordan Scarlett. Van Jefferson, the guy that caught the first pass on the first snap, has been the leading receiver as far as touchdowns for the Gators with 3 so far this year. Gators from their own 37. Felipe Franks getting pressure, going to go deep. And overshot everybody, and he took one right in the chest from Breeden Fehoko.
Breeden Fehoko, one of those emerging players for LSU.
And the nose tackle, Devin White, you'll see him everywhere, number 40. And here's what Fehoko did to Felipe when he got rid of the football.
He hurried to throw, and that's why he has no chance for a completion.
3 wideouts to the top of the screen for Franks on 2nd and 10, but they'll keep it on the ground as Scarlett puts his foot in the turf and had a nice cut for about 4 yards and bring up 3rd down.
Excuse me, Brad, if you notice that formation, 3 receivers to the wide field and then run to it. Dan Mullen was very successful last year at Mississippi State against LSU and Dave Aranda, the coordinator. It's a storyline going into this game. Both coaching staffs mentioned it to me that they got us last year running wide. We must defend the edge better, and Dan Mullen just tested it right there.
3rd down and 7. Gators a 36% team on 3rd down. Franks has time, lofts it, and he lofted it too far into the Tigers sideline.
Yeah, that was bad on almost all areas. First of all, the receiver had a tough time finding it that time because it was dead into the sun on the play. Grimes looked back, but it really would not have mattered on the play because the ball wasn't even in the field of play. If you keep it in the field of play, that's a completion, not a good throw from Franks.
So Florida forced to punt. Tommy Townsend in to kick. The punt taken at the 15 and dropped for a couple-yard loss. Tyree Cleveland on the special teams. Nice play by the starting wide receiver.
It helps to be fast, and he got there and made the wrap-up, didn't he?
Worst starting field position for LSU, but this is their 3rd possession at the 13-yard line. Nick Brosette. He's going to get dumped for a couple-yard loss. Nice force by Rashawn Joseph.
If you talk to all the coaches in the league, the first thing they talk about is Florida's speed on defense, that they run down these sideline plays. Really hard for those 300-pound linemen to get on those linebackers.
They call it a loss of 1, a 2nd and 11 as Burrow comes up firing complete. Going to be short of the first down on the throw to Terrence Marshall, the big freshman.
Here's how a quarterback makes the offense look good and makes it work. Watch how early Burrow throws the ball before the receiver even turns around.
What a play defensively by Jabari Zuniga. And the Tigers will have to punt.
Zuniga, polite, making those plays inside. There he is, the right defensive end for Florida on the left side of the LSU line, and he gets into the backfield and makes the play.
So Zach Von Rosenberg will come in to punt as you look behind Freddie Swain. You got to be careful if you're Von Rosenberg, way in your own end zone. Freddie Swain has it around the 43. So Florida still hasn't scored, but they've got great field position with 1:11 remaining first quarter. We're back to live action with Lamichael P. Ryan with a 2-yard gain. P. Ryan stays as the single setback. The shift of tight ends from right to left on 2nd down and 8. And here's the jet sweep. Kadarius Toney. Toney got a first down. They use him in a lot of different positions. And he's got a first down for the Gators as the first quarter is starting to wind down to a close.
Well, Dan Mullen should be able to figure out a way to get the ball to Kadarius Toney. Now, he's not Percy Harvin, but he's the type of player you got to figure out ways to get the ball in his hands. He's averaging over 11 yards every time he touches it.
First down at the 32. P. Ryan, nice hope. Off the right side, got a decent gain, but the quarter is going to close, and LSU hasn't allowed a first quarter touchdown now in 10 consecutive games dating back to last year. They get out of the quarter without Florida scoring. The end of one. LSU took the opening march all the way down to score. Our only score of the first 15 minutes, 7-0 Tigers. We'll return to Gainesville after this message and a word from your local station. This was the scene moments ago here in Gainesville, the unveiling of the 6th member of the Ring of Honor of Gator greats, Tim Tebow, the Heisman Trophy winner and national champion from 10 years ago, part of his team back here. And Tim speaking to the crowd during the timeout. We had a chance to spend some time with Tim at practice the other day, and then in the lobby of the hotel last night when he came downstairs, it immediately becomes a parade. But what a great player, great guy. You did a lot of his games, so did I.
Yeah. And he has great patience for the fans and respect for the fans. You know, he's never too busy to stop one more time, sign one more autograph. I think I respect that about him even more, his great ability as a player.
So a great honor going into the Ring of Honor, one of 6 with the likes of Jack Youngblood and Wilbur Marshall and Emmett Smith and Steve Spurrier and Danny Werfel, and I think I got them all. I was doing that off the top of my head. If I missed somebody, I apologize. So to start the second quarter, 2nd down and 5. Felipe Franks throws the out complete. Nice pitch and catch to Morrill Stevens, who caught the winning touchdown pass last week in the victory over Mississippi State.
Grant Delpit was not on the field for that play. His helmet popped off on the play at the end of the quarter, so he wasn't out there. He's out there now, but their great safety, number 9, was not out there.
So Florida in the red zone. 19 out of 20 scoring down there this year. There's a nice tough run on the inside by Lamichael P. Ryan again. Got it just outside the 15.
You know, I'm going to give some credit to Franks on this. That long run on 3rd down. Remember, the theme of the week has been all week by both coaches.
Toughness.
Who's tough?
Physical. Right.
And I think that really electrified that defense for Florida. The Florida defense now the last 3 possessions is forced fumble, 3 and out, 3 and out, and now the offense is going for Florida.
Just one pass in this drive, but it was good for a first down. 2nd and 6. Just outside the 15. Ryan trying to follow his blockers. Oh, what a run again. Still going. 1st and goal, Florida.
It was a great cut by the Michael Ryan that time. I thought LSU had him cornered, but he at the exact time plants that left foot and cuts out right there. Look at that. Runs right through the arm tackle and makes the cut. That's that skill that the running backs had that, you know, as when you're recruiting a guy like that, I go, oh yeah, I recognize that. I'll take that guy.
1st and goal at the 3. Ryan stays in there with Franks under center. He'll get it again, and he's driving toward the goal line just shy.
Well, remember, 2nd down is the down that the genius, the creator, the scientist of the jump pass, Dan likes to use play action passes on 2nd down near the goal line.
Seen one of those from this guy this year. We've seen him from the guy we just showed you in between quarters, the Heisman Trophy winner. Goes all the way back to Utah when they first started it.
Yep.
Ryan behind Franks. High snap. Ryan.
No, he did not.
Still not there. These are the things Gary was just talking about. Gary, you did this one.
Yeah, this was the one that Vern almost jumped out of the booth. I think Vern jumped higher than Tebow on that one.
Tim with some of his teammates down there. It's 3rd and goal just inside the 1-yard line.
Remember,
for Florida.
Frank, 6'6". He needs 6 inches.
Easy walk in. LaMichael Ryan touchdown. Well, he got him there. He deserved it. First 3rd down converted by the Gators, and they're a point away from tying it up.
I'll tell you, Morrell Stevens, number 82, and the fullback that time get big blocks on the play. Watch Stevens. He seals the edge, and then he goes to the 2nd level. Seal it, go to the 2nd level, kick out block, and you crease right through it. R.J. Raymond gets a good block on it. 2 players at the point of attack do their job.
McPherson's point after is up and good.
You know, after that first drive, nobody thought it was going to be easy. We've watched too many of these.
A 43-yard drive after the punt from deep in their own territory. Ryan with a strong run here that got him down close. And then for the first time this year, he scores on a 1-yard run. 7-7 here at the Swamp. Packed house, the Gator fans doing the chop. So are the guys that aren't playing on the sideline. Well, some of them are playing. They just went 43 yards in 9 plays to tie the game up at 7 apiece.
This is my 9th game, and they all seem to have their own life, but I know this. There's only been a couple blowouts. These things usually go right down to the end.
Now the last 4 have been decided by a touchdown or less. LSU, after that opening drive, has been stymied pretty well by the Florida defense. Play action for Burrow. Far sideline, easy pitch and catch. Stephon Sullivan. And a first down.
Well, the last 7 plays for LSU has been a fumble and 2 3-and-outs. So they dial up a pass play, and Joe Burrow calmly, again, he's the guy this year that the offense is looking at to say, you're our leader. We've seen you do this before in a game at Auburn. We saw what you did against Miami. He's the one the team now looks to for the leadership and the calmness here on the road.
Calmness to set a school record for passes without an interception. Here comes the jet sweep with Stephon Sullivan, who just had the catch on the previous play. And he's got about 8 more, maybe 9.
This is the first time in the game we saw a shift with a toss to the running back. A little bit of Matt Canada's offense, the offensive coordinator from a year ago. When I talked to Steve Emsinger about it, I go, will you steal any of Matt's stuff? And he goes, a little. It worked.
You steal wherever you can get it from.
Absolutely.
Tell you what, that was well blocked. Had it not been played well by C.J. Henderson, he might still be running. Florida almost jumped on the inside. Kyrie Campbell got back. Second down in a yard. Nick Brossette behind Burrow will get the carry. He's got the first down.
Well, Vashawn has done it a couple of times. Vashawn Joseph, number 11, has cut through the hole and made big plays. But that time he cut into the hole and missed the tackle. He had it. He read it perfectly. Watch number 11 come into the backfield right there and cannot wrap it up.
Chris Curry in the backfield for the first time, a freshman. Burrow's going to go deep on the sideline. Jefferson had it in his hands, couldn't control it as C.J. Henderson was right there with it.
Well, it was a good throw, but it felt to me, or as I watched it, Jefferson was stumbling just a little bit at the end of the play and really couldn't get everything coordinated. Fighting for the ball, incidental contact, good throw. Hey, that's good defense. You cannot ask your guy out there to do better than that. Bump and run, that's as close as you can get.
2nd and 10. Now the slant is complete, and it's short of the first down by about a yard to Derek Dillon.
Put it on the body. Big receivers throw it right at him, put it on their body, and they'll catch it.
And then on 3rd and 1, your quarterback takes off running, as he did a week ago for 96 yards and a touchdown. This time on 3rd and short, he rips off a big one.
You know, you blitz, sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. That time they were playing the running back, and a perfect keep by the quarterback probably was a read play. He pulled it and got a big play. The Burrow offense, throwing the ball and running the ball, has become a big weapon. You see it, very aggressive. You use their aggressiveness against them.
But not before Burrow had 21 yards on the run down to the 24. LSU trying to pick up points here before halftime. Quick and throw out to Giles. He's drilled immediately by Trey Dean. Let's take you back to the injury.
I think it's when he planted his left leg on the tackle. Right there is when it happened. Kind of hyperextended it.
Second and 5. Edwards-Helaire a yard short. The last time they came up with 3rd and 1, it was a quarterback run that kept the drive going.
Yes, remember, they played to the MO of the attacking defense for Florida. Now what do you dial up? You throw one of those slants to your big receivers out there, or do you try to run against this attacking defense?
They give it to the tailback, and I think he's got it.
I don't know. I thought his knee came down. It's really close. I think it's just short, Ness.
Yep, you're right, if that's where they're going to put it.
It was an all-out blitz. Watch them all come from the secondary. You know what you're going to get. Boy, I'll tell you, this is closer than I think this should be reviewed.
I thought his left knee touched down at about the mark, and then the right knee hit second.
I thought his forward progress stopped when he was crossing the line. Yeah, I think your eyes were correct. I'm surprised they're not reviewing this. It's a big first down call.
No kidding. It's not going to be a first down if they let this kick attempt go from 32 yards. And it doesn't matter anymore. And Cole Tracy drills it, as he has 10 other times already this year. So the drive ends in a field goal, and on the road the Tigers up by 3. So LSU capped a 63-yard drive in 10 plays, almost 3.5 minutes off the clock. Had to settle for the field goal, but on the road up 10-7. Set to kick it away. Avery Atkins will kick. Kadarius Toney and Freddie Swain, both dangerous guys on the other end if they can get their hands on it. But they won't. And it comes out to the 25. Let's see now if Florida can answer here before the break.
It'd be a big double because they get the ball to start the second half.
4 wideouts, 3 up to the left of Felipe Franks. He's looking that way. Now he tucked it down and goes back over the middle. And Perine on the reception, brought down by Ray Thornton.
Tried to go to the quick slant to his left. Wasn't there. Thought he might run it. Wasn't there. Pulled it back and used his 6 foot 6 inch frame to throw over the top of it.
He was one tall guy when he came into our meeting yesterday. I said, I knew you were tall, but man. Second down and 3. And nobody to fake it to, but the pitch is good on the corner. And it's Pirine. And he's in LSU territory at the 45-yard line.
I got to give this one to the play caller, because this time LSU did not have enough people to the outside to stop the quarterback and the pitch. You game plan those type of plays. You got the end man on the line of scrimmage and assignment football with no one to take the pitch man.
Pirine got 33 to the 45. And now the quick throw out on the flat to Van Jefferson. Jefferson, let's see where they spot him. He might have gotten another first down. I think he did. They're going to put it inside that 35-yard line around the 34. Should be good enough. So quickly, Florida moves from its own 25 to the 34 of the Tigers.
And that was a hot right there. That was an RPO with a hot. That was a corner blitz read perfectly by Franks.
This time 3 wideouts to the top. And Kadarius Toney is in there. We haven't seen a lot from him. On the Wildcat. Takes the snap, gets it back to the 38.
Talked to the Florida coaching staff, and they said, we'll see a little Wildcat from Toney. I talked to Dave Aranda, and he said, we expect a lot of Wildcat from Toney.
Hasn't been quite as much as Dave thought.
Hasn't. Got all 3 timeouts left.
Minute and a half to play. 2nd and 14. Franks on play action, steps up, going deep to the corner, got his man. Is he in? Touchdown. Josh Hammond.
I think he's short, Brad.
Well, one official signaled touchdown. They had a committee meeting over there, and they're going to bring it out, I guess.
This is a bust by Vincent. He's got a free safety in the middle of the field, and he takes the bait on the play. He's got to play outside. He's got help in the middle. It was a perfect throw, and you see the step out right there.
And a perfect Chick-fil-A pylon cam to show you that his left foot did go out at the 3. He did get to the pylon, but his left foot was out of bounds, so it's 1st and goal.
You have to shake your head when you're a defensive coach. You put a safety in the middle of the field, you tell the guy, you can't get beat outside. You got help inside. And what happens? You get beat to the corner.
1st and goal at the 3. Pirine with Franks. There's the fade back and the throw to the corner. Now it's a touchdown. Morrill Stevens.
Great series by Franks. Remember when the slant wasn't there and he came back to the outside? He read the option play perfectly and executed that. Then he hits the big pass down to the left sideline. What a series for the quarterback.
Extra point is up and good. What a drive by Florida to regain the lead. But we've had some great football through 2 quarters at the Swamp in Gainesville. And Florida, with that late scoring drive in the final couple of minutes, takes a halftime lead to their home locker room, leading 14-10. And as they head in, and before Dan Mullen heads in, he's going to be intercepted by Jamie Erdahl right about now. Go ahead, Jamie.
All right, Coach, that last touchdown drive for Felipe Franks, what was it about his decision-making that was the difference maker?
I don't know. He's just executing cleaner, getting more comfortable with the looks they're giving us. They're giving us some different looks, which we knew they would coming in. Yeah, to see they weren't going to do what they did against us last year. So you knew they were getting different looks, and he's just getting more comfortable making the adjustments.
And how much Franks' toughness really embodying and representing this whole team?
Well, it is good in the pocket. He's doing a good job hanging in there. He's got to be a little more physical running the football, though, right there. Get us first downs on 3rd down and 2nd down situations and scrambles. But that'll come, and it'll keep getting everybody pumped up here in this unbelievable crowd today.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, Dan, you can't give him a 3rd and 14 and expect him to get 15 when you're running.
But I think it was the 3rd and 1 that bothered him.
That's the one he didn't like. Good game first half. Florida 14-10. Geico halftime report is next. Really hasn't been that many touchdowns that Mick called there, but at any rate, good first half, 14-10. Florida will get the ball to start the second half after an impressive drive in the final 3 minutes of the first half to take the lead for the first time today. And as is often the case, no return on the kickoff. As we bring you back in the booth, Brad and Gary, Jamie's down on the field. Two teams that pride themselves on not turning the ball over. We had a strip sack fumble, otherwise clean game, and both teams, you said it was going to be physical. You got to earn every yard.
And look at what did Dan Mullen tell Jamie right at the half? I want those short yardage runs. He knows the toughest and what it means. I think Franks, though, Felipe Franks, you got to give it to Dan Mullen. He found an edge. He found an option play, and then he took advantage of that to get that big last drive. That's all you need as a play caller. Give me something to hang my hat on, and then I can distort the defense.
Here's Felipe off play action on first down. Going long. Man out there, and he got him. On the run, a flag is down, but Josh Hammond has it all the way down to the 26-yard line on the first play of the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to call this one back, though. I think it was holding before this thing was thrown. Or was, I'm not sure, but came out of the background. See a perfect pass. You had it exactly on target.
Would be a 49-yard play. There's the flag flying in.
There were 2 fouls against the play against LSU. Pass interference, number 25. That penalty is canceled. Personal foul, hands to the face, 45. That penalty being enforced 15 yards from the end of the run. First down. First down.
So we're all used to those flags being thrown in the backfield being holding. This time Michael Divinity, number 45, as he's rushing, you can see it right there, putting the hand to the face. That is what was called, and it is a good call.
Remember, Franks to Hammond set up the touchdown that got him down to the 3-yard line near the end of the second quarter. Now they got it all the way down with a penalty to the 13.
Remember, we talked about leaving the field with your quarterback having confidence. How about that confidence on that throw?
49-yard pickup plus the penalty. And now on first down, Franks wants more. To the end zone. Intercepted. And it's Delpit with the pick in the end zone. They give it right back.
Pressure inside by Fehoko, number 91. Throw off that back foot. Anybody might catch the ball. This time, number 9. He's right in the middle of the field. You got to know that pre-snap. Tough to go down the middle of the field when you got number 9 sitting in the middle of it. But the pressure up the middle was the way that forced Franks to throw that ball before he wanted to. Give half of that to number 91, Fehoko.
I guess Morrill Stevens was the intended receiver, but when they hit, the ball went so high, it just drifted right to Delpit for his 3rd interception of the year. Gives it back to LSU.
On a first down call, too.
Burrow, the screen to Jefferson. A rough landing over there after a 4-yard pickup as we check in with Jamie.
Well, Gary, Brad, excuse me, my goodness, how can I get you two confused? Brad, when I talked to Coach O coming out of the locker room, really the only question I had for him was, you've seen them for one half now, how do you beat them? He said we have to eliminate turnovers. I'm sure he meant create turnovers as well. Defensively, he wants to stop the short yardage run, and what you're seeing right here, they also want to protect Joe Burrow so he can get out of the pocket.
Well, we almost should have had a flag there. I thought the hands to the face. Maybe we did get one. Trey Dean looked like he tried to rip Jefferson's helmet off.
Hands to the face. Defense, number 23, 15-yard penalty. First down.
You know, sometimes on a play caller, you can feel you're on a roll, okay? Half ends well. You hit him for a big play. You get a penalty. The crowd's going crazy. You say, I'm going to go for the kill.
Get a little greedy?
Yeah, get a little greedy. I thought that first down call, you go for it all. When they work, we're up here singing your praises. When you don't, I guarantee you Dan Mullen is kicking himself right now.
So a big penalty on one side. LSU with a double penalty when Florida had the ball. Now Florida gives it right back to him out to the 48-yard line. A lot of action in the first minute of the third quarter. Nick Brosette got it to midfield, and that's it. David Reese made the stop right at the midfield stripe. Our game trends. Felipe started rough. Since then, 6 out of 8, 113 yards, a touchdown, including that 49-yarder moments ago. 7 different guys Joe Burrow has used. LSU trailed at halftime this season at Auburn. And we know what happened there because we were there. A big win at Jordan-Hare on the final kick in the final second of the game.
Both teams, I think, are feeling good. Florida's playing great defense, but LSU, as you just said, been here before.
On 2nd down and 8, they'll keep it on the ground to Brissett. Tough yard or two. David Reese has come out to play in this 3rd quarter, number 33.
You know, Brad, at halftime, one of the things I was going to tell you, we never have enough time, at least for me to talk, was that it was a pretty quiet game from the 2 inside linebackers, the 2 stars of the defense, Reese and White. Reese for Florida and White for LSU. That means good game planning. Stay away from their guys.
Motion man is Jefferson. Burrow, here comes that backside pressure again. He feels it, but he's going to run with it, and he's not going to get there. Nice job by David Reese again.
That's that speed on defense. Jabari Saninga forces him out of the pocket. Nobody to throw. I think it was going to be a screen. I think that was a middle screen that got blown up inside. It's going to be that little slip screen to the running back. Nothing there, and forced Burrow to just run out of the pocket.
I think David Reese heard us bragging about Devin White because that was quite a series right there for number 33. Josh Groden will try to tuck this one inside the 10 somewhere. End over end kick and fielded and drops. Ball is out. LSU's on top of it, but it was a mop. I don't know if he called a fair catch or not.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interference, though. I think Florida's going to get this ball back. I think this ball was interference on the catch.
There sure was a lot of blue. A lot of white around the blue, I should say. There's the fair catch called for.
Yeah, he was inside too close.
Chance.
Nope. That's going to be Florida football.
Kick catch interference on the kicking team, number 27. 15-yard penalty, touchdown.
Leonard Fournette is the guy that didn't give him enough room to make the catch.
You know, we all sit up here and criticize the referees. It's an American tradition, correct? I mean, but they got this one right.
So now Felipe Franks, who had a rocket shot on the first snap of the 3rd quarter that didn't produce any points because he threw an interception, goes back to work. They keep it on the ground for 3 or 4 as Delpit makes the stop on P-Rod. Michael Pirine had a great game a year ago in this contest. 12 carries for 70 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And today he's got 11 carries, 56 yards and a score. Got 3 on the last one. 2nd down and 7. Franks is going to keep it. Nope, he's going to throw out in the flat. And this one is going back to the line of scrimmage to Josh Hammond, and that's it.
A little bit of everything in this offense. Remember, the short throws are being taken away by LSU. So successful last week against Mississippi State, but not this week.
Well, LSU, the secondary is one of their strengths with guys like Grant Delpit, who's got a John Battle, who's their free safety, and a captain. Greedy Williams, maybe the best corner in the country, or at least one of the best. So that helps the cause. 3rd down and 6. They're going to blitz. They're going to run. And Pirine's not going to get anywhere near the 1st down. So Florida's got to kick it.
Uh-oh. Could be on both. It could be on both the Florida and the LSU player.
Well,
Greedy
there's
Williams.
another one to the face.
We have this replay stuff that works really good that we can take a picture of.
Okay.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 4.
That's right.
That's number 4's first of the game. That's a 15-yard penalty. That was after the play, so it'll still be 4th down.
He's lucky it was
half
just
the distance.
lucky it was just unsportsmanlike conduct.
Tony and Williams matched up. 2 great athletes, but it's man-to-man combat out there. Blocking, and Tony just gets too frustrated on the play. Hey,
You're not supposed to do that,
no,
though.
you both did your job. Just go back to the bench and start over next time you get the ball.
Throwing punches is not how it works.
Well, and 15 yards in this game, in a 14-10 game in this game, are big 15 yards.
Not kidding. So the punt away, fielded at the 44 by Giles. And Giles back to the 42-yard line of Florida. Great field position again. If Florida's going to have to get their defense right back out there.
Yeah, Jonathan Giles went from number 7 to 12 for a little luck, and I thought he might have dialed it up there.
We'll tell you more about the number change when we come back. 14-10 Gators. 3 first downs, 4 punts, and 1 turnover. And he's maybe shaking his head at those stats. But that's how good the defense on both sides has been. As we said at halftime, every yard's a big yard. And as Gary said, and when you give up penalty yards, you're really killing yourself. Great opportunity here for LSU, though, as they start in Gator territory at the 42. Oh, Burrow got rid of it. Morrow with the catch.
That's a spectacular play.
Wow.
That's a play that you just hope that your quarterback can make. It's impossible to teach. You spin around, you got a guy in your face, and throw it accurately, all within less than a second like that. Incredible play by Joe Burrow.
And a 14-yard pickup to the 28. Now the flare out to Brissett. Morrow trying to block for it. He got to the edge, but he only got about to the line of scrimmage.
You're trying to find ways to get outside this fast Florida defense. You turn around on the bootleg. You are taught on this play that when you turn around, expect the blitz. If it's not a blitz, then you can be calm, but expect someone in your face, and that's exactly what he did.
9 different receivers for Joe Burrow. 2nd and 10 at the 28 of the Gators. LSU trying to regain the lead on the sweep. That's going nowhere. Derek Dillon, he had a big one in this game a year ago, and he stopped in his tracks by Joseph.
I'll tell you, Vashawn Joseph is having a spectacular football game here. Remember, he is chasing a wide receiver. He's an inside linebacker. Watch him move to his left and take the cutback. You think he's going to go wide. He does not. He gathers himself and makes the tackle. We're seeing some great football plays here. This is high-level defensive play by these guys, tackling people in space.
Burrow throws the slant, and it's swallowed up by who else? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
It's just the way he lives. It's the way he coaches, Todd Grantham. Despite getting beat, you see it, a lot of sugarcoating here, but he still ends up coming at the end. When he was at Mississippi State, he called the blitz against Alabama and cost them the game. Touchdown pass. Comes right back to it to win a game last year, and now in this situation, he tries to knock LSU out of field goal range.
Cole Tracy, who hit a 42-yarder to beat Auburn on the final play of the game, and Jordan Hare will try a 42-yarder here to make it a 1-point game, and it is up and good. We've seen that act before. 4:16 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Number 23 having a great game for the Gators. Forced the kick, and it's a 1-point game. Just a 42-yard field goal, but just that 42-yard field goal has made it a 1-point game. Avery Atkins to kick. And this one short and bobbled around and covered at about the 20-yard line. Jordan Scarlett with Felipe Franks in the Gator backfield. They fake it to him and come up throwing. Complete out and backpedaling is the tight end, Ciante Lewis, and he got about 9 out of it. Don't forget, later in the game, the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. That play of the game might still be living out there in the 4th quarter. We'll wait and see without a 1:25 in the 3rd.
Fullback in the game, Raymond, number 45, lined up right there. He got that strong formation that was successful on the goal line.
Oh, nice miss there, and Scarlett, I don't know how he made that guy miss in the backfield to get what he got. Watch this move in the backfield.
And Scarlett's supposed to be the power back. Mika Bakersfield, number 23, comes into the backfield and just, I don't want to say whiffs, because he was coming full speed on the play and just sidestepped on the play. Bakersfield is playing because Jacob Phillips obviously is not. There was a game time decision, and I don't think I've seen him in the game at all in this game, number 6.
Tight formation to the right again with just one wide receiver down to the left. Jordan Scarlett again put his foot in the ground and cuts to the left side, and 2 tough runs back to back. He's out to the 41.
Can you run the ball when you have to? And this time, great job by Nick Buchanan, the center that time, number 66. He stayed with his block, and then what all the good ones do, they take you the way you want to go, and that's exactly what he did.
And that counter by Scarlett counts us down to end number 3. I don't think you want to go away, everybody. 15 to play at the end of 3. Florida hanging on for dear life at the Swamp, leading by 1. We'll return to Gainesville after this message and a word from your local station. No easy way out and no backing down in this one. The late Tom Petty in between quarters for the Florida fans. We start the 4th in a 1-point game. 2nd down and 4 for Florida. And the direct snap to Tony. On a Wildcat. Trying to get free, and he got the first down and then some. Tony out to midfield. He ran about 12 yards to get 4, but that's what he does. Here we go, partner. 15 left. This is kind of what we thought we were going to get.
Ben here's seen it before, and perfect was what you said. No backing down in this game from that 2007 game. You got to just keep playing because the guy across from you ain't backing down, so you have no choice.
This time Tony can't handle the snap, but he one-hops it to himself, and he got back about 3 yards shy of the line of scrimmage. So we didn't see a lot of that up until the first couple snaps of the quarter.
Well, when your quarterback is 6'6" and your Wildcat guy is 5'8", maybe that's the reason. I think that Felipe Franks could have caught that one, but it was high.
All 3 receivers to Frank's left. Looks that way, steps up, throws short to the 40, complete.
LSU has been able to get really no pass rush with just their front 4. Coach Orgeron told us that's the biggest disappointment in this team. He does not have that guy who makes the offense get scared. Will he be forced to bring pressure?
Caleb on Chason would have been that guy. He's out for the year. Franks trying to buy himself some time. Throws, and it is complete to Kadarius Toney. Short of the first down.
Does Toney get his foot down? Let's take a look here. I don't think, well, we can't tell in that one. It's his right foot.
Boy, that's bang, bang.
Right there, I don't see anything yet. I could overturn that yet.
So the punting unit has to come out. As Gary said, a drastic difference.
Yeah, because that would have been a field goal try for sure.
Tommy Townsend last week could have been almost the player of the game, the way he knocked 5 punts inside the 20-yard line in the win over Mississippi State. That's all he wants to do right here to keep Jonathan Giles from doing anything with it as a return man on the other end. Oh, that much too far. So he didn't keep it in the field of play, even though Cleveland was down there trying to field it right at the goal line.
I think he would have caught it easily if he didn't have to stop at the same time and keep his feet short of the line. He knew he was close to the line, and he tried to reach over and did not do it.
The F-16s from earlier before the national anthem on the flyover here in Gainesville. And a look from our Chick-fil-A pylon cam down low as we still have a 1-point game with 12:48 to go.
Can LSU find some help for Joe Burrow? They have not been able to run the ball, only 19 yards in the third quarter.
Here's Brosette finding him some room and some help. Nick Brosette all the way out to the 50.
Going into that play, the longest run of the day was by Joe Burrow for 21 yards. Remember, this is a Florida defense that gave up over 300 yards rushing against Kentucky. You've got to be able to keep the balance. Yes, Joe Burrow's having a good game, but LSU must get back in the game with the running game to help the passing game.
Brosette went 31 to the 49. In Gator territory, trailing by 1. They send Jefferson in motion. Fake it to Brosette. Burrow on the run, throws late and out of bounds. Oh, not out of bounds. Look out over there. Almost a sensational catch by Justin Jefferson. He just ran out of real estate on the far side.
I tell you, if you watch Justin Jefferson play out there as a wide receiver, he's smart. He runs good routes. He catches the ball. Of course, you know, his two brothers played at LSU. Not a big-time recruit, just a 3-star, but he did not even catch a pass for this team in 2017. But he has really emerged as one of the stars on their offense.
You talked about the lineage. Of course, Jordan, his brother, played quarterback about 9 years ago. Ricky, his other brother, he's 5 years older, played defensive back. Here comes Brosette, and Nick Brosette on the way. Two biggest runs of the day, and it's 1st and goal.
You could feel it coming. You could feel that LSU went back there and said, we're having trouble, guys, protecting the quarterback. You're going to have to man up and make some blocks. You've got to help this offense out. You got to block them up front. There's no way to run away from it.
As Brosette comes right at you with pylon cam, that's where he stepped out.
Damian Lewis and Austin Deculus both produced great blocks on that play, and now you've got an extra offensive lineman in the game and playing right tight end.
Let's see if Joe Burrow takes it himself. Nope, keeps it on the ground inside. Touchdown. Nick Brosette. He did all the work, and he got the final yard.
Coming into that drive, LSU had only rushed the ball for the game less than 100 yards. 95 yards coming into that game, and they went to the ground and they took it to them. All of the yards on this drive came on the ground.
And they're set to go for 2 here with a 5-point lead to try to make it a touchdown. Game 7. Burrow under center. Jefferson, they fake it to him on the sweep. Burrow throwing to the back corner, broken up. Trey Dean, the freshman, knocks it away from Derek Dillon.
He did, and also Chauncey Gardner made a great play, taking out the back in the flat, nowhere to go. Gardner Johnson, number 23, see him covering Brosette on the play, only one guy to throw to, and Dean makes the play.
Long drive, missed 2-point conversion, but LSU's back in front.
Sometimes in the running game, your running back has to make it go. Nick Brosette feels it and cuts it and makes it go. And sometimes the offensive linemen have to make it go. Watch 76, Austin Deculus right there. Watch him help on the snap and then go find the linebacker. 2 blocks on one play. You can't do better than that. That's what makes it go. Sometimes it's the running back. Sometimes it's the offensive line.
Now the first run was 31, the second was 42. The last one was for the touchdown. 79 yards of that 80-yard drive in a minute and a half. Nick Brosette.
Got all choked up watching that pass blocking and run blocking.
You got choked up.
Cutting. Yes, I got all choked up on it.
And it'll come back out to the 25 for Florida now.
Since the long pass, then the interception following. 4 for 9, Franks is for 16 yards.
And 3 3-and-outs. He looks left, has to come back the other way to throw it away. Devin White was getting in his face. Those two are having a little chat, a couple of smiles. Good sportsmanship there.
The signature of this LSU defense is if you play in the secondary for LSU, you better be ready to play man-to-man defense. And that's what they did right there. Played man-to-man, nowhere to go with the ball.
Second and 10 from the 25. Two tight ends in there for Florida right now. They're bunched in on the left. Franks fires one. Back shoulder throw and a beauty. Van Jefferson.
Cow. You went against two future NFL players right there. Greedy Williams on Van Jefferson. Watch this throw, and then Grant Delpit comes over and rips him. What a play. What concentration to hold on that ball.
Two guys that are going to be playing on Sundays sooner or later. And what a catch by Jefferson and a nice throw by Franks, and they're in LSU territory.
Sometimes one guy's just better than the other guy.
And Franks has to throw another one away.
Like I say, sometimes it's a scheme and sometimes it's just the guy.
Take a look at the Associated Press top 10. Alabama gave up some points, but put 65 up, 4 touchdown passes and 300 yards plus for Tua in the first half of that game. We mentioned Georgia's got a date with Vandy tonight. Clemson's putting it on Wake Forest. Zook told you about the Ohio State-Indiana game, and here number 5 is leading number 22 by 5.
And Oklahoma took a tough one.
They did. Well, they tried this play earlier. It was big. It is again. Lamichael P. Ryan all the way to the 32. LSU can't stop this one, Gare.
Well, Fred Heggie, number 61, does a great job on the option. Watch him come out right there, cleans up, and then blocks it, and nothing in the back that time. That option play has been a go-to play. Both teams have found a running game to help them in the fourth quarter here.
P. Ryan now is 76 on the ground. First down at the 32. Franks loads, fires, far side. Oh, not quite. I thought Grimes could hold it, but not quite.
I thought Fulton thought he had it, but the ball just kept flying. Strong arm by Felipe Franks. You could see Kristen Fulton says, I'm going to hit. No, it's not. It's over my head, and you're right. Grimes, I got it, and not as good as Van Jefferson.
And from Pylon Cam, I got it, I don't have it. Second and 10. All 3 receivers up top. On the ground, P. Ryan, maybe 3 more.
And Rashard Lawrence, number 90 that time, just was able to grab the shoestrings of the running back, or it would have gained 4 or 5 more yards. Number 90, middle of the screen, watch him come off and just reach out and make the play. Just grab the toe.
And I tell you, Tyler Jordan got a good block on Devin White on that play as well. Here's Franks on the run. His coach wanted to be tough running. He does there to get inside the 20, down to the 7 to the 17.
Well, this time he didn't have to be as tough because the offensive line was cleaned out. Jawan Taylor, number 65, just crushed the right side of that running play, and it was open running for Felipe Franks as soon as he caught the ball.
2 out of 3 in the red zone, touchdown-wise today. Let's see if they can get another one. Here's an end-around pass. Back to Franks to the 3. Lucas Krull, a lefty, took the handoff and went right back to his quarterback.
Dan Mullen loves the gadget plays. You bring in a new player. No one at LSU knows he's left-handed.
The only reason I did is he'd throw that in practice the other day. At the 2-yard line. P. Ryan off tackle, touchdown, Florida.
What an answer. And now Florida will go for 2. A little bit of everything on this drive. Last play, Lucas Kroll threw. This play, he blocked and got his man into the end zone for the touchdown.
2-point attempt coming up to try to make it a field goal difference. 2-point conversion. Franks rolls, getting pressure, has to throw it away. It remains 20-19.
They just about ran the same play, both sides, and it was almost defended exactly the same by both defenses.
First, the lefty Kroll takes it, throws it back to Franks. Tim Tebow is smiling somewhere. And then the guy that's been the workhorse in the third quarter, LaMichael Pirine, caps it off. It's a 1-point game again. You think the Gators are into it, including their head coach? Deafening noise in here during that timeout. 8:48 to go. Florida by 1. LSU will work from its 25-yard line. Remember, we talked about all the shifts on the offensive line due to injuries and inexperience for LSU, and it showed up today. Burrow trying to buy himself a little time. Now he's going to tuck it and run it, and he's got a first down. Almost tripped himself up and would have been short, but he fell forward.
Decent time to throw downfield, but just a shoe that time. Took him into an on-balance, but he fell forward.
Got 13 on 3rd and 11. Now he's going deep sideline. And looking for a flag as Jefferson. There it comes.
That'll be interference. That's the toughest play for a defensive back. A well underthrown ball. This was not by design at all. Trey Dean, number 21. This is thrown as a deep ball, but it's underthrown, and he grabs Jefferson.
Interference on the defense, number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that's going to put it around midfield, maybe the 48, somewhere in there.
You know, sometimes you say, okay, that was a well-designed play and they deserved the call, but that was just a poor throw, and LSU was the beneficiary of it.
Rashawn Joseph's back in. Eight-minute mark, first down, LSU back in Gator territory. Edward Zeelander got 3 yards out of what I thought was going to be no gain.
Yeah, Jabari Zuniga, number 92 that time, beat the block, disrupted the play. He was in the backfield, and that's how you play good defense. If you can force that running back to make a cut before he wants to, you can pretty much stop the run.
A field goal would give LSU the lead, but a precarious one of 2 points. Edward Zeelander again. This time, David Reese all over him.
Some guys just have a knack for feeling the blocking scheme and going behind it to make the tackle. Coming on the left side, he's going to come behind the blocking scheme and make the tackle. You have to have a lot of trust in your ability to stay behind the play and then backdoor the tackle.
Reese, who had back-to-back seasons against these guys of 12 tackles, has got to be in that area again today. It is 3rd and 7.
Ja'Kai Polite, 99. C.C. Jefferson, 96.
Joe Burrow hit again, trying to throw it.
And it was C.C. Jefferson that made the play that time. They helped on Ja'Kai Polite. They double-teamed one side, so the other guy makes the play. Watch the help to this side. The sack or the forced fumble comes from the other side. Help on one side, no help on the other side. That's what you call a duo of pass rushers.
So they don't get to an area where they can try a field goal. They'll have to punt. Josh Roden in to kick. Freddie Swain is back for the Gators at the 10-yard line. Swain's going to let this one go, and it's going to be a beauty for LSU down around the 3 somewhere. So 6:24 remaining. Florida's got the lead by 1, but they are in a deep hole down near their own goal line tonight, trying to stay within a game of Georgia and Kentucky. That's what Florida's trying to do, to try to go to 5-1. LSU trying to go to 6-0 and remain perfect and remain in the top 5. Gators from their own 4. Jordan Scarlett in the backfield. Tony gets a handoff on a sweep, and he got maybe 3. Good job by Delpit to stay home there and follow number 4 across the field to make the tackle. Last drive, Felipe Franks rushed for 12, caught a pass from Krull, and threw for 26. Right now, he'd just like to get it out to the 15. But it's going to be on the ground if they do it. Scarlett will not get there. Neil Farrell made the tackle. And it's 3rd down and a big one coming up. Gary said they need 2 first downs. They're a yard away from one of them.
Well, you know what Dan Mullen wants to call. He wants to call the quarterback run. It worked for him before. Will he dial it up now?
Scarlett inside, got it, and still going. Jordan Scarlett with a big first down at the 5-minute mark.
Well, it hasn't been pretty for Jordan Scarlett. He's had to make people miss in the hole all day, but it's been tough yards that he's produced, and producing this first down might be one of the big ones. Fairly well blocked, but Scarlett, who rushed for over 100 yards 2 years ago against this defense, is the guy that was called on to make the first down.
He stays in there on a first down at the 19-yard line. They pitch it to him. Scarlett looking for a block on the corner, trying to stiff arm, and Devin White's I'll give you a little bit, like maybe a yard.
How about that speed from the linebacker spot? That's what the people who watch this tape of this defense say. Look where he is. He's on the back side, and he runs down the running back and makes the play for a yard gain. It looked like they had him outflanked, didn't it? And when that ball was pitched.
Now Franks with 3 wide receivers to his left has a look back to his sideline on 2nd and 9. Scarlett got to within 2 yards of the first down marker.
A first down here puts the clock in play in this game.
Scarlett's in there.
Miranda has to come after this. He has to bring everybody here, doesn't he?
Scarlett again. He's got the first down out to the 30.
Now Coach O has to start looking at that clock.
So now they're hoping for another first down, which would put them out at the 40. 2 timeouts left for Florida. LSU with all 3. And the clock working its way down to the 3-minute mark.
No hurry here. Still got about 7 seconds.
Cleveland and Jefferson, the 2 wideouts to the left.
Smartly done by Franks.
Scarlett going to lose a couple here.
With the loss right there, I think Orgeron should take a timeout right now, and he does. If Florida picks up 9 yards, you save it. But when you get a tackle for a loss, you use it.
have been hit as he threw. He was trying to get it to Cleveland. And he is scraping himself off the turf here at the Swamp.
Was it, I don't know exactly who it was. Was it Ray Thornton 43 that came around? Yes, it was Thornton 43.
He just never really got to follow through.
No, he didn't. It spun the ball to his left as he let it go.
So that stops the clock. And it's 3rd and 11. And now LaMichael Pirine comes in to join Franks in the Gator backfield. 3 wideouts to his left. They have to get to the 40-yard line. They keep it on the ground to Pirine. Not going to get there.
And you got to take a timeout.
There's the second.
With the college rule of the first down timeout, they're much more valuable on defense than offense. Those timeouts.
Townsend to punt on 4th and 6. Jonathan Giles waits on the other end.
Oh, what a punt.
And again, Giles has to backpedal about 20 yards to make the catch at the 8. Trying to look for a block. Got one, but he'll only get out to the 12.
You talk about flipping the field.
I told you. His punting last week was a huge part of the Mississippi State win. With 1 timeout to go. Joe Burrow steps up, throws short, complete, dropped immediately is D. Anderson by Trey Dean. And the clock will run down near 2 minutes as they come up to the line. Second and 4. Burrow throws incomplete. His receiver fell down. It was intended for Stephon Sullivan.
Pretty good protection on both of those first 2 throws. Sullivan slips and falls on the outcut on the slot right there. See him fall down? No way. Burrow has to anticipate the throw. It's not going to work.
3rd down and 4.
Who wins here? Pass rush or pass protection? Story of the game right here.
Blitz. It's intercepted by Florida. Brad Stewart. Touchdown. The only Gator on the roster from the state of Louisiana. Interception by Brad Stewart for a touchdown.
Joe Burrow threw his first interception of the year, but the game is not over. An extra point here makes it an 8-point game.
McPherson for the point after. Up and good. 27-19.
All-out blitz. You're going to get the overload blitz to the short side. It's picked up well, but because Florida's blitzing, the Florida defensive backs jump the routes. They don't think he's going to have time to throw it, and he was right.
So now LSU has their return guys.
Plus the penalty is going to give them great field position.
Right, they have got their return guys around the 15 to 20-yard line area.
The only difference is before they needed a field goal, now they need a touchdown and a 2-point play.
McPherson to kick off.
And I don't think they've had a kickoff return today, have they?
Well, this one's from a different spot, though.
This one might get there too.
Not be either. Going to be fielded at the 3 by Edwards Hilaire. Edwards Hilaire trying to get to the left corner. Not going to get there. Who else? Gardner Johnson.
It is, but it was a face mask, I think, right on the end of the play.
Turn, personal foul, face mask, return team, number 23. 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Burrow in trouble. Goes down again. It's C.C. Jefferson. No, it's Polite again.
Take a timeout. You have to take a timeout. And this is the part of the game where Joe Burrow, if it's not there, has to get rid of it. First of all, he burns a timeout. Even if he would have got out of the pocket, he would have only got 4 or 5 yards. Time more valuable than yards for the quarterback on that running play.
LSU out of timeouts. Their undefeated string on the line. 1:29 to go. Burrow steps up. Look out. Down he goes again. Another sack. Zuniga that time. And that's sack number 5.
You just got to throw the ball. If it's not there, throw it out of bounds. All day, that mental clock should have been ticking. You know your offensive line cannot hold up that long.
Going to be about a minute left on the snap. 3-man rush for Florida. Burrow, far sideline, tipped. Incomplete. Brad Stewart, who had the interception a moment ago, tipped that one away.
I thought this one was going to be picked off too. I thought Stewart had it all the way. He almost overran it.
Last chance for the Tigers. Burrow loads it. Deep middle. Got it complete. Derek Dillon. On a huge 4th down. They complete this.
Florida only rushed 3 players on that one. Only a 3-man rush by Florida.
45 seconds. Burrow. Far side going to throw this one away.
That's what you got to do. So on 4th and long, the MO, bring people. That time, Todd Grantham said, no, I'm going to sit back. Joe Burrow took advantage of it and produced a 1st down.
On 4th and 17, he got 23 yards down the middle to keep the game alive.
I guarantee you, if this ball crosses the 50-yard line, they're going to start blitzing.
They've only got one guy in a stance defensively, a 3-man rush. Burrow throws to the near sideline. Jefferson, it went through his hands. It would have been a huge catch.
That was a good look off by Joe Burrow. He faked as if he was going to throw the ball to the middle. He went to the outside, and it was a catchable ball.
We've seen Jefferson make a lot of these already this year.
That was almost one you depend on him catching. That was a perfect look off by Burrow, and that would have set up gut-wrenching time for the Florida defense and their fans.
3rd down and 10. 34 seconds to play.
They're going to rush 3 again, or will they bring more?
Right now it's just 3. Burrow. Far side. Got it. No. Get it out of the hands.
Again.
Stephon Sullivan had it and dropped it.
That's 3 straight plays that Todd Grantham has brought 3 rushers. One time they pick up 4th and 19. The next 2 they drop the passes.
I think Sullivan was worried about getting out of bounds and forgot to catch the ball.
But there's no reason for it, though, because on a 1st down, the clock stops.
Another 4th down. Last time it was 4th and 17.
No way they just rushed 3 here. They're going to bring 4, aren't they?
It's intercepted. Game over. So Joe Burrow, who hadn't thrown an interception all year, threw a pick 6. And then Steiner, the guy that ended the game at Mississippi State on a safety blitz sack a week ago, comes up with the game clincher.
Just a 3-man rush. Jeremiah Moon comes around the corner to put the pressure on the quarterback. Derek Dillon thought he had the seam down the middle. Did he? Looks like it would have been a tough squeeze to me. No real place to throw the football. Good defense all the way around. Got the benefit of a couple drops, but the interception proved to be the difference in the game.
And now Florida, 3 straight SEC wins, keeping pace in the SEC East with a huge win at home. winning coaches with Jamie.
Coach, we talked at halftime about the physicality of this game, but in the end, what was the difference maker?
What was that? In the third quarter, that middle stretch, we got a little out physical, but we buckled down at the end, made plays. This team has found a lot of different ways to win games. We did it again today. It's great to see the Swamp back to being the Swamp and giving us that home field advantage.
What can you say about the way Felipe Franks operated this offense, especially down the stretch?
They did a heck of a job. You know, I mean, he was getting banged up. They did a good job getting pressure on us. He never flinched, did a great job managing us, making plays like we asked him to do, kept his focus and kept making plays for the whole 4 quarters.
It's been 9 years since you were back in a game like this. Is the Swamp alive again?
It certainly looks this way right there. It's great to be a Florida Gator. And look at this, fans, all these people. This is what we need to get this program back to winning all these championships that they expect around here. Is the students, the fans, to create this atmosphere and make the Swamp the best home field advantage in all of college football.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you. Go Gators.
So a happy coach. His little girl Bree in arm. And they go to 5-1, and their number 2 national ranking is going to rise up. And it is the Swamp. As he meets his family, big win at home. Kiss for Megan, squeeze for his little girl, and they head to the locker room, a happy Mullen family. Both teams 5-1. Both teams very much still in the hunt in the Southeastern Conference. We're going to see you next week in Baton Rouge, where the Tigers take on the Georgia Bulldogs. We hope you join us. That's going to wrap it up for Gary Danielson, Jamie Iredall, Brad Nessler saying so long from Gainesville. Final score, the Gators 27, the Tigers 19. CBS Sports College Football postgame show presented by Capital One is up next right after these messages.